next objective to attack and be selfless in this match.
I'm excited to see the coordination between these two teams because you know when a team is playing at a really high level when you can hear their comms without hearing their comms. You know, you can just see the coordination they have as a team. You can look at the calls. You can look at who's being made aware of whether a power up is or whether someone is on the map, whether they're coming around a corner, and like you see that instant snap. There's something from a viewer's perspective that I actually find really satisfying about that. That you just know when the coordination is so crisp, they just know exactly. Obviously, they trust each other. That's one of the big things. But both these teams today have shown that they're very capable of that. And I think you said it yourself, Steege and Daniking do a lot of duel. I think they've done a great job of showing that obviously they're not just one-trick ponies. Not that that would even be a problem because each mode in itself is so hard. But that said, very impressive team play from both of these players. Definitely doing Australia proud at the very least.
I really just want to be able to scream throughout this tournament once, Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. And maybe see someone do a maybe they'll do a shoey.
Maybe later. Maybe
That'd
later.
be great. All right, so we do have...
Maybe if they win the tournament.
Maybe. I'll do a shoey with them. We do have a mirror matchup between the two. And already off the bat, Win gets the first kill with that rail onto Steege. Does have Wash pushed up, but again, the nail gun. You really have to respect it in these tight corners, in these tight areas and hallways of how much damage you can do. It's really hard. It's I think harder to miss in those positions than it is to hit.
100% because they were a little bit close together. That's one very, very nice rocket. And that piercing sight, of course, we're going to hear the coordination from these guys. They're going to know they're going to be near rocket location. Daniking actually still hasn't got a rail, though, so him pushing in with that one was quite brave.
Yeah, and he got punished for it, too. Couldn't fight from range. No rockets left for Steege, so he's only got the rail, and he gets closed in on both angles. This is something we saw Wins and Waz do quite a few times earlier on. Is that they would just kind of attack from different angles at the same time onto the same point where it was Mega or it was Heavy. It was pretty much the same result every time that they would get that kill without dying.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very close indeed, though. They'll be clustered up near that light armor, but as we start to see power-up spawn, as we kind of hit that 30-second mark, I think that's why we're going to see teams kind of try and fight collectively. Make sure they kind of hold that rocket launcher room. It really is the most important room in 2v2, well, at least on Ruins, of course. This is the map.
6-4. I always want to say a little bit of a slow start, but again, a lot of these skirmishes are coming around into these 2-on-2 situations. Wins, gets a fantastic kill. Daniking again, able to turn it around, able to get the kill with the nail gun. That seems to be all he needs. Maybe just a rail. Sometimes he gets another frag, and that lead that Liquid 2 did have is slowly dwindling away.
Quad's going to spawn. Liquid actually there. So they're able to command it, but not before Steege gets the job done. And we're just going to trade back and forth. Waz having the last laugh in that exchange.
Oh, that was...
And then some.
We talk about flicking when you see someone. That was a fantastic shot. It's another. Look at that. From a 4-kill difference, we're up to 5. And it might continue to grow.
That was one of those satisfying situations where because Daniking had already committed into his strafe jump, he was in the air and he couldn't move. That's that's like completely unchallenged, just straight up machine gun fire, dead.
Just like you just kind of just take it. You know you're not gonna survive that one. In the meantime, gets a nice kill with the rail. And yeah, they're both actually very low HP here, so the potential for them to be overwhelmed is very possible. And not to mention, Wins has such a long time for the Unholy Tone to come back up again.
I think Steege, they're not really concerned about actually trying to chase the kill. They really want this room under control.
It seems to be that they're, I don't know, I'm actually I'm watching them play, and it always feels like they kind of don't know the next move of like what to do. Like when they took the room, like, all right, well, where do we go next? And there's kind of that second or two of delay of like that next area you want to take or the next location you want to maintain. But here we go, this is gonna be a big fight in 2v2.
Steege going in for that really sort of last minute mid-air, and even though it doesn't work out, they are able to make it 1-1. I think either person's going to chase this yet. Yep, Team Liquid 2 are waiting for backup. Sorry.
Steege, smartly enough, I love that composure he had of, I could take this fight again. It was a 1-for-1 trade. I can maybe turn it into 2-for-1. Instead, he backed off to pick up Mega to make sure he's alive. And that rocket that came in, it's a delayed kill on the Waz. Win's going to be able to drop in towards Heavy, but he's not going to be able to secure it since unfortunately it was taken before him. And again, going back to clean out the totems, and every time you're on Rune Start, you have to pay attention, but protection's up in 10 seconds now, catch up. Mega is right there. Wins isn't able to secure it because he goes down, but he gets the trade. He gets the 1-for-1. Now Waz can just walk in, pick up the Mega, and play from high ground.
Oh, and he was able to force Steege away as well. That's a great play from Waz. Excellent play. Forces him away from the power-up, able to take it himself, and now he's got a really, really chunky stack. They have a nice amount of frag lead. They can get the heavy as well. Waz has just become unkillable. There really is going to be no way they can take him out, especially if he's going to have wins behind him.
And piercing sight too, which he just got up. You just want to track down where the next people are. He's actually delaying it right now because he knows who he wants to kill. It's the man in front of him. And Dandy King's done so much damage to him, even with the stack that Waz did have. But unfortunately, that stack won't matter anymore as protection has worn off.
That was one of those moments where you kind of rocket someone and they just refuse to die. And it's, for the love of God, please die. I just need to move on. You're wasting so much time. Stop being a jerk.
But the waste of time worked out for him.
Yes,
it actually worked out for their team. They're still down 9 frags, though. This lead has been growing over time. Prestige and Dandy King need to kind of come together a little bit more. Again, no rail Prestige this time. We've already seen the reliance of Waz and wins on it. You can see again with another kill, and Prestige just hitting some of these rockets that are just absolutely perfection.
It's just really well placed. You know, half prediction, half knowing where they are. Speaking of which, that one was a little bit late. I think he was not expecting him to be so close. Caught around the corner by LG, and that was going to be all she wrote. Prestige goes down.
Really wants that heavy. He's going to get it, but it's going to cost him his life. Or it should. He's 2-on-1. What is happening? Somehow wins to survive this?
Oh,
and he's going to get another kill? That should not happen. You had a 2-on-1 fight.
Was also amazing totem placement, where if they are going to try and take something, or if they are going to try and go through the middle and try and head him off, they either have to waste time to shoot the totem, or they take damage going through there in the first place. Like, perfect placement, and it kept him alive.
So Wins gets heavy away, he gets mega away, and now he comes back in for heavy. He's going to pincer another time. This time Waz has gone down. Can Wins do it again? He does steal away heavy. He's got the totem. He's got the kill on Prestige, and he gets the kill with his own totem on the Dandy King. Wins. The King is here.
Just has the last laugh every single time. That's twice in a row now he's survived down there.
In these situations where you almost shouldn't. Like, the thing is, actually, I want to get to this point in a second when it comes to Blood Run about these 2-on-1s. Quad has come back in, Wins won't be able to pick it up this time, but Waz comes in with the rail, and Team Liquid 2 are looking so dominant. But the idea I was trying to go for was on Blood Run, the power-up room in there. There's a lot of these potential for these 2-on-1 fights. If they come in from different directions, it's about that communication, it's about that focus. And the focus and coordination that we crowned Corvidae as having in their last match is completely gone. They're not attacking the same target. They're not getting the angles they need anymore. And Wins is just on a streak. He is on a tear.
He is indeed. You can say that again. Is he going to get one more? Yes, he is. Prestige goes down. Can he get one more rail before this quad is up? Why even go for the rail when the LG is going to get the job done? I mean, why not? Waz. He'll finish the job. That was a great sequence. And on that subject, he talks about where Corvidae, they're not really going for the same level of coordination. They're not focusing the targets down. I think that's both Team Liquid being really, really hard, I think, pinned down. And also, I wonder if they're not as confident because they know the opponents they're facing right now are of a different level. You know, they are a step slightly above.
I hope for their sake that they're not like that, but there's always potential for that. The psychology in sports and in esports and how it kind of affects you of the team you're going up against and how you see them mentally as being a better team can affect your own performance and confidence, most importantly in Quake. And hitting shots like this is all about confidence, and Wins is short of none of that.
That was almost a double whammy. I would have been so happy if we saw a double whammy on stream.
With a quad, nonetheless.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my, has Wins even died in the last like 3 minutes? I feel like he's gotten about 10 frags and hasn't fallen once. Just look really quickly. 28-7.
My God. 28 frags, while the rest of the other two teams, it's both 8 and 7 respectively. Like, this is a hell of a game for Wins.
And the thing is, like, being the mind of the team too, the one who kind of coordinates where to go and what to do. Typically in other esports, that's the person who you kind of expect to have less frags and to kind of be like the person on the team to not be standing out like this, but Wins is doing it all.
Going in for the rocket, went for somewhat of a direct, so it took a little bit longer to take out Dandy King, but not too long. Able to get the protection regardless of that, and there's the data from the teleport, and now he knows he's weak. This has to be guaranteed.
Remember when I talked about selflessness? Right there. Instead of taking Mega himself to play with protection, just be even more aggressive, he gives it over to Waz, who needed the HP, to play together, to play as a team. That's exactly what you need to do, and that's why they're winning 42-14. I haven't seen Corvidae get a kill in 3 minutes at least. I'm not lying.
It's because, I mean, we've been on Wins pretty much this entire time, and there's like no regrets. This guy is an absolute animal.
Not to mention, he lives in the US, but he gets to actually play in front of a home crowd here in France.
That's actually,
come back.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I like the spot. I like actually stacking totems there.
If someone dies by going around that corner, they are guaranteed dead, surely.
All right, maybe we should give Waz some love here. I don't want to switch away from Wins, because I know the second I do, he's going to pull off another great play. Actually, the second I do, he does die, so it works out. But Waz comes in with the play. It's like the commentator's buff. Whoever we're on just seems to be picking up kills instead of normally. It's a curse.
We call that, yeah, we do indeed. 2v1, Steve's able to take out Waz, but plenty more work to do. Misses one of those rockets That's always going to be unfortunate when Wins gets one of those frags. But
go.
The patience, the brave rail, and it does connect. Is he going to get a 2v1 on that? He should do indeed. But no, the bridge actually saves him. But it doesn't matter. LG, catch him airborne, finish the job anyway.
Okay, so finally some life in them. We have to kind of wonder, is it too late? Is it just too little too late? We're only 9.5 minutes in.
With 5 frags left, I definitely think so. I think it's going to be a miracle if they pull this one off.
All right, well, every kill they do get makes it more and more viable. Although their chances go from 1% to maybe 1.5%. Every kill does add up, and not to mention the confidence is building. Mega comes in, he's hitting splash damage with these rockets on 2 targets. The rail will miss. The double whammy you're hoping for was almost there. Can't hit the follow-up shot on the Wins. He does have his teammate to help out.
Man. And even then, trying to go for everything now with that 60 HP, and they only need a few more frags, it's going to be risky business. But I really think Steege, he has to fight for it. He can't just let them effortlessly walk in and take it. But if they get quad, it's going to be game over. And they do get quad damage. Liquid now just became very dangerous indeed.
And Waz has sight in 2 seconds. He's going to be able to spot them out. There's no hiding from this man. There's no hiding from the fate of this map, it looks like. He comes in from behind. He takes down Steege. The rocket splash looking to go in towards Mega. He's not going to land, but he has the rail now. And he's going to... I thought he was going to hit that shot. He's not going to miss this one, though.
Yeah, he knows where the final 2 targets are. And even if he doesn't get this frag, he's coordinated it. So Danny King does manage to take him out, but oh my god, he's extending! Watch out!
I'm not gonna lie. I think he actually they went to 51 frags. I think he got a double kill with that last rocket.
I think so. I think so. And I feel like what a way to, I think, really demonstrate how good these guys are looking. Sorry, I just noticed I had to get a bit of a flick.
No, that's fine.
Hopefully you guys didn't notice that. But that was a really, really good map number 1.
It was fantastic for Wins. I didn't see his side. Actually, 32 and 11. Waz was 18 and 12. And Waz, it's not like, he's dragging the team down. It's just because Wins was that dominating, that controlling of it, that he didn't have the opportunity to get kills.
Now, if memory serves me correctly, our next map is going to be Awoken.
Yes.
Now, Liquid 2, these guys have already shown us how good they are at Awoken. I actually think it's both Liquid teams are really good on this map for like different reasons, But I think personally this is a map that heavily favors these guys. So if they're 1 map up already, 1 more map is going to put them into qualification where they're going to play in the group stages again tomorrow. This is one of, I think, the best maps they could have got.
I'm a little bit worried for Corvidae. Like you said, Team Liquid 2 looked much better on Awoken, or looked very good on Awoken earlier. But more importantly, we saw what they did on Awoken that made it so strong for them. They camped rail. They just literally camped rail. They used it as a pivot point towards Mega, towards Heavy, and then obviously the pickup is like right behind him there. And then whenever they did push off of it, it was kind of like together really quickly, just because we need LG, like we need the gun, right? You're not giving it to us. They pick up LG, they go back to that spot and they camp it. It's going to be a major battle for that position, and I feel like the team that gets there first is generally going to have an easier time. The rails, the distance you have to fight from, LG can cover most of it in most situations, but there's a lot of angles where it doesn't. And you have to be able to get those entry damage in, that 80 damage in, to really be able to push in.
Now, I don't know whether they might just change in between, but loading into this map, I think I just saw a saw lag. No, they've changed. Okay, yeah. I think that was Waz.
Just toying with you.
I was about to say, because I was about to be like, hang on a minute. I haven't seen saw lag in many times, but no, it's going to be Doomslayer, which is a much more... Oh, okay. Steege getting the first frag literally within 5 seconds. I'll accept that. Okay. Early start. Taking the lead. Do Corvidae, but we saw the snowball effect come into full effect actually previously and just completely annihilated 2v1. Do not think he was prepared for them to both be right there.
Let's see, Steege gets a good spawn in, but he's kind of trapped between 2 players. It's going to be very difficult for him to kind of fight this one out. He does help get a trade onto 1, but again, Wins is going to be there to close out one of those frags. And now they've got the control of the realm. It's just going to be a battle for this. And funny enough, like, coming into Awoken as a map, I always said LG is going to reign king on this map, but it's definitely become rails. There's a lot of tight corners, but if you never move from rail, from that position, from that location, then rail is king. It's just LG is a lot stronger than a lot of other parts of the map.
Trying to go in for that area denial with the plasma gun. It's still so weird saying plasma gun when it is a nail gun, but I'm so glad to put it in. It is such a sick addition.
I like to mess with Zoot because it says disruptor in the like weapon selection. Because a lot of players like to say like DM6 for Blood Covenant, ZTN for Blood Run. For newer players, they have no idea what that means. So I like to just poke Zoot about that. And he always says, no, it's plasma, Jason. In a British accent, of course.
Chucking the plasma. Anyway, only 1 kill actually separating these guys right now. So not a bad result so far. And actually, I like the fact that Corvidae have actually been able to actually kind of bully Liquid away from that point. I didn't even know that part of the map could play away, by the way, FYI. Nice. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Wow.
Yeah, they've been able to bully them, like you said, and I think they're kind of realizing where the big focal point of the map is. And with 13 seconds to go onto quad, I would maybe have saved that totem, because Dandaking could use the HP. But with the Prison Sight coming in right there, they know exactly where they're coming from. He's just gonna spam out rockets. LG, a good 2-on-1 focus. He jumps down, gets killed to Waz. Quad's gonna spawn in. Hey, Quad, where's he gonna go? Can Wiz get
no,
bring in?
No quad for you, good sir. That's gonna be Team Liquid holding on to that quad damage. And wins. He's been such a thorn in their side, and now he's got access to quad damage. I mean, they can try and frag him, but if he's holding that LG trail, I mean, you can only survive for so long, really. Full speed ahead.
Corvidae could have had such a different start if they were to secure that with Dan not getting... I don't think he got pushed out. He kind of just like walked down next or got knocked away by Wiz with the rocket. And they had such a good 2-on-1 fight, but because he dropped down to go for the kill onto Waz, it allowed Wiz to sneak in. It allowed him to get through. I think he actually like rocket jumped in behind him to get there.
Oh, these rails have been perfection. Oh, that one was death.
All right, well, Siege gets one. She gets a trade there, so he gets a 2-point in the end. So they're kind of stopping the rot. 13-10. Liquid not looking as strong as they did earlier on. So actually, I wonder, because like I don't know a ton about the Australian scene, but I wonder if this is like one of the more played maps. Obviously, as you mentioned before, with it being a newer map, people are playing the hell out of it. But yeah, I wonder
the scrims have been real on Awoken. Like whenever you watch players that are streaming, it's almost always on Awoken.
It's just such a good map. It's so well designed. I actually love it. I love the the circular design of it too, because it allows you like this path, like a speedway to just run around over and over again to potentially escape damage. The amount of damage, speaking of that,
and and that double LG goes to show that he had done so many like rails over and over again, but it really wasn't enough to deter Liquid. They knew they were weak, but at the end of the day, if they can funnel in their LGs, he's still going to die way faster than they can kill him, or he can kill them, I guess I should say.
You get melted worse than butter.
Yes. Actually, one of the strengths that we see from teams like Claws and Silent Set, they're very, very LG heavy. Yeah. Very, very good LGs in general. That's why they are. But if they both focus the right target, you just see how quickly anyone gets melted down. And these are medium to heavy champions too. You know, these guys have impressive stacks.
It's not like you miss often either against the champions with that big of hitboxes. Protection. It looks like it was secured for Dandaking. Wiz goes in, and Wiz gets a little bit too confident there. So Dandaking's going to punish that. Heavy's about to spawn in. Just barely misses that.
He was really trying to thread the needle. He can't actually get that shot in between Teleporter and the rest of the map, but very tight.
So it's not bad. So they got protection, right? They got heavy, they got mega, they got timings on both now. I would like to see them with protection wearing off, head over back towards rail and hold that location again. Because then you, again, use that as a pivot point to drop in towards these pickups and kind of keep momentum. Because they actually have the lead. They're winning 19-17 off the back of the protection.
They are indeed. And it's because I think they understand this map. It's a combination, I think, of understanding Liquid and understanding the importance of this map. Where Liquid 2, just unchallenged in their earlier series, they were able to basically just stay here, and for like 80% of the map, they were on this side. And every power-up went in their favor. They just weren't pushed away from it, right? Whereas that just is not the case with Corvidae.
Okay, now the commentator's curse is back in effect. Finally, Waz just cleaned things up with 2 kills, but they're still down 1. Now they got the control of the railroad. They have the timing on Heavy. Funny enough, even though they lost it, they're still able to secure it. Now Siege gets overrun by Wiz. And Wiz again, picks himself up a double. That was a 1-on-2, but because the angle he was fighting from, he limited what Corvidae can really do to him.
Oh my god, 100. He's going to do the math. He's going to know that he's nearly dead. No doubt he's coordinated that, but wins. In a bit of trouble, actually. By himself, not much stack. I mean, fighting there would have been suicide. No mystery that you ran away.
Well, speaking of run away, they have to run back. 20 seconds left on quad. They have to.
That's why Wiz is saving his totem. For the magic moment. Does lose one. Siege, 1 for 1. Now Wiz, absolutely, he's in control here. He's got the positioning, he's got the ammo, he's got the totem, of which he now uses 1. And there we go, quad damage. Really well played, and Wiz just waiting for his moment to come out.
I mean, that's really delayed. That was like 7 seconds in. Waz has to be careful. There's a hold me shot from him. He charges straight into him. He goes down. Siege gets a kill. Now Wiz is like, bro, what are you doing? I'm going to be 1-on-2. You've given over away to this quad. We just got the lead back. It's going to be on Siege. He's got the rail. He doesn't have a lot of weapons to use, though. He definitely needs the LG.
I wonder if it was just a temporary moment of him being so confident he could have killed with a regular machine gun. He didn't expect just getting deleted as quickly as he did because his stack was so low.
It's like, I want to be on the highlight reel, you know?
Who doesn't?
It's Wiz and Waz, not Wiz. But luckily for them, Steege doesn't accomplish anything off that quad, so they didn't actually lose too much on it. Though they did lose the potential to get a bigger lead against them.
They did, and I think when it's 1 kill difference, that's always going to be significant. And if this continues to be as close as it does, Waz needing to get rocket launcher, by the way, but kind of being, yeah, there's no way he can get that rocket without dying, but now he's in a terrible situation. He does manage to get down to King, so that's a win for him, but he opts to stay because Wins comes up behind and finishes the job.
Yeah, he had quite a stack, had Mega, got heavy in the midst of that fight. Again, they're going back to taking this rail room, just spamming rockets through that direction. You mean just see 50, 40, time and time again, just constantly whittling away at what Corvidae do have. They do get a 2-on-1 fight though, and they will take down Wins, but can they get Waz as well? Well, not yet at least.
Yeah, not yet, not quite.
Stop dying, everyone.
They make the life so difficult by playing the game.
Look at the push on Omega. Again, a little bit mistimed. You saw Steege there earlier than Dan to King, and it allowed a 2-on-1 for Liquid 2 to get the kill.
There you go, 20 seconds time. We're going to see that protection spawn again, but history really kind of repeating itself. They've got 2 frag difference now with 1 good protection. That could very easily just add up. And Waz actually using the Berserk mode to keep him out of the way. You know, he's going to allow Wins to potentially run in there and take the protection when it spawns, or he just straight up timed the Berserk and knew that it would run out by the time he was gone. But some well-placed rockets is going to keep Steege in the fight for now, but he's so weak. But while he's not being focused on, he's actually having the ability to do so much damage. Is he going to win here? Can he get the kill? I'm really curious. No, he can't.
Oh, no.
Waz does turn up eventually.
And Win still had 27 health left. He had a totem mid-fight. And again, you have to keep in mind the totem is like basically doubled in effectiveness because of the 66% damage reduction. He's looking for more. He wants more, but he's getting denied for the most part. That's a great bounce to the corner. He gets flanked from behind, but Waz will be there to back him up again. Just getting each other's back, making sure to have these fights.
Now this is where the snowball starts to come through, and I'm kind of worried about it because it's been so even from start to finish, but that 1 good protection, just like that, 7 frag difference right here. Corvidae are in trouble.
They are. They really are. I don't even know where they kind of slipped up. They were so close, and they had a lead at the point of the map. The general power control has definitely gone over to the side of Liquid 2. Waz comes in with the punches. He gets decent damage in, but Wins able to clean up that kill on the Steege. See another 1-for-1 exchange here. And Wins is just, he's not missing many of these rails.
I mean, his rails this whole series have just been on fire. I know I say that, and he gets railed himself, but he didn't take the shot, you know?
Yeah.
He can be super... It goes to show that when someone is super accurate with rail, it's like the ultimate support.
You can't miss if you don't shoot.
Output. Oh, I suppose so. Never use the rail. Have yeah. Oh, I don't know where I was going with that joke.
It's 0% if you don't shoot.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that joke. I just killed it dead before I finished.
Sounds like most of my jokes. Dan King. I was getting your back, you know? You and me together. The jokes that fall flat. Just like that one. Dan King, though, looking to take heavy, and he will get it. 12 seconds on Mega, so you need to see the transition of his position. They need to deny this. There's 6 frags. They're still within reach, easily within reach. It's doable to come back from this, but they have to play together. They have to kind of come back where they previously have fallen.
Yep, and that piercing sight. I mean, they're by power up, bro, and he's like, I know. Here they are.
Gotta hit these shots right now.
Everything they can. It's going to be an LG fight. Steege with a double. Okay. That's one of those fantastic Galena doubles, I think, where it's a combination of, like, totem and everything else.
But they're low HP. 27 for him, 44 for Dan King. They don't have the ability to make a big play happen off of this.
Yeah, they have to fight, but if they have a huge risk right now of dying and losing it, but that was a great pick out there. Waz had his back turned, didn't know it was there. That's going to be an unreturned frag. Going in for the MG. Really, really good weapon switching. Okay, here we go. They're back in the fight. They might get 1 more before the end of quad, but even if they lose quad now, it's over. They're not really going to get punished too hard.
And if you're new to...
good shot.
He got it. That was the rail at the quad. And if you're new to Quake, just keep in mind, like, the move that you just saw Steege do with the Galena, with quad, is so important. It was so impactful. It allowed him to actually
he's in a bad
down on multiple
situation.
people. Yeah, I mean, fighting from the low ground is so hard to do. Yeah, be careful of those totems. It would have killed you, Dan King. But 42-39.
They were able to climb back up there. They definitely were. They were at a pretty chunky deficit before. That charged 100 rail. You know Dan King saying, I've railed in max. Missed rail. Unreturned, so it's going to be back at that situation, but just the push coming through. Acknowledging it's a 2v1. Steege fighting back.
Oh.
Defensive rail, and then some. Gets a second one for his trouble, and that's 2 frags for Steege.
Oh, no, he's going to the wrong spot. He needs to back away. He actually has a totem, so he could heal up here. Did he get through the teleporter? He gets healed back up to 91.
Out of rockets as well, that's the thing.
He's low on rails. He doesn't have LG either. Finally gets the rockets, yes. Protection up in 30 seconds, so they're trying to position themselves around the pickup room. around this power up, and they're actually able to shove them back towards Mega, which was picked up and secured. But these rails, keep hitting them, Stige. You're giving yourself a good chance here, you and your teammate.
Yeah, he's really keeping them in this. One more rocket. Almost a ring out, actually, which would have been just as good. But a 1-1, we are at that dangerous territory where a 1-1 becomes risky if you're against Team Liquid.
But they have the spot. They have it. What weapons do Waz and Wins have? LG? LG, so...
Yeah, just fresh off spawn weapons, really. They're on the other side, and they get challenged on the jump pad. This should be, yep, protection appears, and it's just been collected. Dandy popping piercing sight. He has all the knowledge in the world.
There's no way you're going to run away from this, because look, Stige is coming out from the other direction. So they go through the teleporter, but Stige is still there. He's there to meet them as they exit through, but they can't get any kills. Stige finally gets down, wins, ties things up at 44 apiece.
And that protection did a wonderful job of just getting rid of every single totem that was getting set up. All that progress gone in the blink of an eye. Dandy taking the 2v1 because he's got protection. Who cares? Goes for the rail, but it misses. Gives him another opening because the second rail misses too, but he stays to fight. Risky business. Stige finishes the job. Wins, goes down.
They have the frag lead. 46-44 for the second time.
Oh my God.
There's no way we're getting to quad again. And every frag matters. It always does, but here, even more important, the totem has come down. The rail's gonna miss. Dandy Wins trying to fight for the high ground. He actually drops it behind Stige, but Stige gets a kill. He steals way heavy, but at what cost? It's gonna cost him his life here. And now 2 frags left for Corvidae could send them through to the third map.
I think it's likely. I mean, this has been quite a marathon to run, and Corvidae looking to get 2 more, and they catch him off guard. 1 more to go. They trade it. They need 1 more frag. Can he win this 1v1? Or will Win survive another day?
Oh my lord,
my
16
God.
HP.
He has to run. He can't fight.
He doesn't have totem either. He doesn't have... Oh, he dodges the rail.
My God. Wins, you madman. You're still here. He's still there. I mean, to be fair, he had to try and contribute. He couldn't just run away and leave it 2v1 because obviously with 1 more frag left to go, that in itself would have been a map loss, but that really is a rock and a hard place. There was not much he could do, but wonderfully come back by
well
Corvidae.
done. Well done.
Really good.
You could say that Corvidae has is woke. It's a woke. Yeah.
So the next map, actually, I've actually realized we'll find out what the third map is going to be on the rotation. But to be honest with you, I think Corvidae are going to be feeling damn good about that one.
Why wouldn't they? I mean, they're kind of keeping their hopes alive. I mean, we have Team Liquid 2 as being the favorites in this matchup, and I think that still rings true even after that map. But to put themselves now potentially of getting through without losing in the bracket, not having to play another match, even though they already did win their first match, but to just be through and done with it, the pressure that would fall off of them, and then coming through as #1 seed makes it even better.
I think, you know, I don't want to say it will be an upset if Liquid don't make it through in this stage. It will be, I think, more of a breakout performance for the Australian boys. Because we know they're good anyway. It's not like they're not underdogs, they're not up-and-coming players. They're clearly fantastic players. But we just haven't been able to see a lot of them from 2v2.
Sorry, they're not underdogs, but they're down underdogs.
Oh my God. Did I just walk right into that? I know, I've got to give you the props. That was most
I'm sorry. I had to do it just because they're Australian. I love Aussies. Great guys.
Well, it does. So the third map, I believe, actually is going to be Blood Run.
Okay.
So it's from one close quarters map to another. Well, one Galena totem heavy map to another as well. I mean, I'm not surprised that we're seeing this champion get picked so much. She really is becoming like core of 2v2, especially on these smaller maps where teleporters and movement in general gets shut down by the totems, because it's not even the matter of she has a totem by a teleporter, it's the threat that she might. And if neither of you know she's put a teleporter down, it becomes a massive risk using those teleporters. I know a few patches ago, Galena's totems went from doing, I believe it was 75 back last year, they upped it to 100 damage. And that became very, very significant. You know, even when the light champions are kind of out of the meta at the moment and they're not being picked regularly, no Anarchy, no Nyx, we're not really seeing any of those guys at the moment. What
makes Galena so strong on this map is a couple of different things. You know, besides obviously blocking up teleporters and making you second guess it, there's a lot of good hiding places to actually put the totems near rocket launcher at the staircase. You can always generally have one down there to always heal up with when you go by, because most people don't check that unless they're running up to rockets. And then third, the power-up room. You can basically lock off an area just with the totem alone, because you use it as like a sensory thing. You put it in a tight area. They have to either kill it or jump over it or take damage. Generally, they don't jump over it. They kill it. Then you know that one person at least is coming from that position. So it gives you the sensory information to know where they're coming from or that potential easy 100 damage.
Well, here we go into what is, in fact, going to be our final map. Corvidae versus Team Liquid 2. Corvidae pulling off an insane comeback on Awoken. And this final map of Blood Run. We're going to see if they can keep this momentum up, or whether Liquid are going to basically step up their game even further.
I mean, Wid's already been top fragging the entire series so far. And I don't even think Waz has been underplaying. I think he's underperforming. I think he's actually been playing, you know, perfectly fine and fantastic. I think Wins has actually been going even far and beyond what he normally would have expected out of him.
Yeah, it's this tournament environment, man. I think sometimes these tournaments, they kind of just bring out that next level in top players. Catching the airborne rocket, of course. Good shot. 3-0 for now. Great start for Team Liquid.
And if you're Wins, you're so used to the tournament environment. I think you're more used to the tournament environment than playing at home, because he's been around for such a long time through many games, playing at the top level in every single one of them. He definitely feels comfortable here. Waz, that punch won't connect, unfortunately, for him. It's so frustrating for Waz there. He probably has to ask Wins, is that your totem? Because you can't tell if it's enemy or friendly when you're in the Berserk state.
Hey, when my man's seeing red, he'll stand on everything.
Yeah.
Rip and tear, my dudes. Here comes another 2v2. Well, I say 2v2, he died before he even had a chance for Waz to contribute, but not before the frags are starting to ramp up a little bit. That was considering how fast he was moving, that rail was awesome.
Yeah, he's also using the blood pool to heal up too, but the problem is Steege has gone down. Again, that little hesitation coming through those teleporters. 30 seconds to go, so actually there's two totems at that teleporter. So that's really dangerous. If you're Wins or Waz, you can't really go for heavy in that direction. You have to rocket jump or tribal, or I think you can even nail gun up jump that position at some points.
Well, Dandy actually getting a taste of his own medicine at walking into an enemy totem, because sometimes you kind of have to take the risk anyway. Like, you can't not move around the map, especially when Quad's just about to spawn. If they're going to get it anyway, then you may... Oh! No! So have you ever been so mad that you run into certain death because you're just too fast?
I feel like every death I ever have is just certain death for me. That's the fortunate part.
I think if any champion's going to die that way, it's going to be Doomslayer, because he's just so mad.
Right. And the problem for him was that he spawned in and he popped his Berserker Rage to get there as quick as possible to help assist on the pickup, and then he didn't see the totem right there and ran straight into for his death. Oh, that's going to be a good juggle, but Wins goes down the shotgun. Really good place to use it right there, as you see him just decimating the head from Wins. But Dan, only able to get, what, 1 kill off of this?
Very, very little, to be fair. Very, very little. So it's going to allow Team Liquid to maintain the lead. The question is going to be, what kind of control do they get from this? Mega's going to be spawning soon, but it's risky for Dandy King to sit around because he's railable at that health.
Yeah, I was actually wanted to check, like, did they get Mega? Did they get Heavy? And I don't think they actually lost out on Mega, and I think they lost out on Heavy. So they didn't really get much control off of that anyways, which is really unfortunate. That Berserk comes through. Dandy King gets the kill onto Waz.
That was quite a hard fought one, actually. He was in Berserk for a fair while before he managed to score a frag off it. Wins going in for Heavy, but unfortunately, Colin misplacing that rocket. Going a bit too far forward. Oh, nice rail. A very, very good shot. It's going to allow them to kind of maintain that 1-1 situation, even though Liquid are in the lead. Dandy King with another good rail. These guys, one thing that they haven't been shy of, it's been accuracy.
And hitting rails like that in like high pressure situations when someone's close to you.
That's a combo.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's so difficult to do, and just keep his composure in that fight. Heavy's going to be up, and Wins from the low ground, catches him out. Allows Waz to actually secure that. And this should be another frag. Punch through coming.
Some respectable dodging actually from Steege. The confidence to actually kind of stay put, expecting the flick on the rocket and kind of not budging. Taking 30 damage rather than directs, which obviously is what you don't want. Here comes that protection in 15 seconds time. We are going to see Heavy 5 seconds before, though. I wonder if anyone's going to try and take that first.
If anyone's going to be, it's got to be Dandy King, since he can easily double jump back over. Berserk's up frame, he gets the kill and Wins at a perfect time too, because now they can't respawn back in, but Waz comes in, he gets the kill.
Oh, he missed.
Wins is there!
Yeah, he runs out of ammo right at the wrong time. He needed like 1 or 2 more specs of LG, and he was forced into the rail. Okay,
so Steege does take away Heavy though, in the meantime, because Wins was actually looking for that right after. Hits another rail from a high ground. Doesn't have LG, so it's really hard for him to get these kills. He's getting juggled, and he's been stuck into a corner!
Oh my god! Nailed. Through and through, and he landed 2 really good rails too. It just wasn't enough.
Yeah, that's the hard part of LG is you can be pushed around with it. If you're locked to the corner, it doesn't matter how much protection you have.
You can't move.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all she wrote for you.
And he didn't have guns to even fight out of the corner either. That's the unfortunate part. But Steege wasn't able to really do much with it anyway, so not big of a loss for Liquid 2.
Wonderful frag. Absolutely wonderful frag. And it's a very minimal lead. And this was a great start for Liquid, but Corvidae are keeping it together. A little bit more work to even the odds.
Yeah, see that position. So nice to have a totem there. People don't often check it.
That LG from Steege, he's not even finished. That double kill on the LG was immaculate. That first LG, when he caught him in the middle of the jump and just kept the arc going 100%.
Yeah. That just shows to me definitely putting in time in the LG. That's Berserk coming through, and it's going to actually miss the first punch. And he's going to be forced away. Heavy's going to be secured. Rail's not going to hit the follow-up shot.
Mega does go in their favor. Steege landing more of these wonderful rails, and he just continues. Is he going to go for one more? He stays to fight. Oh, misses the last-minute rail. Unfortunate, because it is going to allow them to now fight for Mega. they've actually taken the lead, Kaplan. It's 1 frag difference.
Yeah, they did that on Awoken, though, too. They were up like 1 or 2 frags, and then they kind of fell apart. It's going to come down to this quad to determine, well, I mean, that's like the stupidest thing to ever say if you think about it. Like, whoever gets quad is going to have the lead, right? But it's so important for them to just keep the momentum, because they've been able to come back after already being down in the map for a while.
Oh my god, he landed so many nails, and it wasn't enough, again, because of the stack difference. But he died at, I think if he's going to die, he will die now, right? Die when you've still got time to at least get a weapon and then fight for it. However, the control is coming on Liquid's favor. Danikin goes in for the Berserk, times it perfectly, tries to get 1 frag, but Galena just way too stacked, and it's not enough. He has to dedicate to 2 punches. And again, guys, that's just a spectator thing. They'll be back in the action momentarily. There we go.
Oh, 57 HP, Waz. Does he get close range of Dan the King, and he actually gets dropped here. So now Dan, the man with the quad. And hopefully a plan this time. All he needs is a machine gun actually hit.
Right now the plan's going to be to take Mega. Unfortunately, there's actually no one there to fight it. Because he might have a rail, right? And even the knowledge that he might have one means they can't contest, because he'll one-shot them.
Oh, quad's gone. Now there's what to do. Something we talked about, you know, a lot is like Doom's greatest weakness, Doomslayer, is the LG. Because rockets are so hard to hit against a man who can double jump. But you saw there, like, Wins didn't have LG, so there needs to be a lot of focus on the side of Liquid 2 to secure that. Wise and Siege just going to trade some kills.
But Doomslayer on Blood Run is always so dangerous because there are certain jumps that you make that you either have to rocket jump or nail jump.
Yeah.
Basically, you know, you take that price of self-damage to move, whereas Doomslayer doesn't have that problem. And because Nyx is out of the meta at the moment, Doomslayer is basically the only champion that can do that.
And not to mention, there's a lot of these like tight corridors and not big open spaces, so running away from Berserk is not really going to happen often. Not really viable, not really possible. Heavy's going to be there, and he does take it away from them and prevents them from securing it. But again, puts another frag down, another frag behind. And we have protection up in 30.
Yeah, Liquid have been able to somewhat inch it out yet again. Coming down to just phenomenal coordination between the two. These moments right here, just the second Waz catches sight that he can secure a kill with Berserk, he just uses Berserk to basically guarantee it. Put them in the back foot right now, and there's 10 seconds away from protection. Now they're in a difficult situation, because fresh off the spawn, you kind of have to really make a choice. What weapon do I want to prioritize picking up before I fight for this?
See?
Danikin just walked into absolute death.
He couldn't see what color it was. He didn't know if it was friend or enemy. And that's what Zach was talking about, Galena and the totems. You can basically lock off an area at this point, and then use that to your advantage. Protection for Wins. Look at that tracking.
Oh my god.
Or not even track, it's preemptive fire with the nail gun.
Just nailed. Well, no pun intended, actually. Sorry.
I hope, you know, with the gore system that's coming, like you could actually nail people to the wall.
That's what I want.
That'd be so sick.
I would love that. Going in for LG. Wins. I mean, he's going to be public enemy #1, but they actually go down to challenge him. That was very, very brave indeed. I'm not sure I actually agree with that.
Yeah, let's say, like you said, brave. I was going to say stupid.
I tried to paint it nicely.
Yeah, no, see, that's just the difference in us. Is I'm just more negative and you're more positive about things.
Yes, it is. Speaking of which, that combo from Totem into Rail was nice. Another, again, guys, spectator client. The players can't see this, thankfully. I think. Wait, no,
that was definitely
that was definitely server.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Sorry, that'd be looked into after this map. 100%. Wins looking for the rail. He's not gonna hit that first or second shot. I mean, the kill difference though, 8 kills. This is like one of the biggest leads we've had between the two teams over the course of this whole series. I think the biggest was 11.
And they've been fighting hard for it, but unfortunately Liquid, if there's one thing Liquid as an organization do in Quake Champions, it's just consistency throughout. How often have we seen anyone on the Liquid lineups, like, lose a lead or whatever? We'll see what's happening here, whether this was player side or not. If this continues, I don't know, we'll see what the players say, but sorry guys.
Well, luckily for us, we do have id Software here to help, you know, troubleshoot those problems we have with the client, so that would 100% be done and resolved after this. Wins gets a kill on a Siege though, with the Unholy Totem. Puts him one step closer. And 20 seconds on quad. Make or break time for Corvidae. If they want to start a comeback, they gotta do it here.
Wow, it actually uses the teleporter right as Wins is committed to the jump, so there's a bit of difference in between them. I think they wanted to actually try and take the fight first to maybe 2v1 rush, but unfortunately, the fight has just gone completely pear-shaped, and now Wins is the one that's outnumbered. If he manages to get this quad, I'll be surprised. But actually, Waz, using his Berserk to sneak up behind, they very almost took that back.
And Wins ran into a totem and died. Danikin has 1 HP, but he has his teammate here. He's gonna suicide. He's gonna give this one over. So now Siege, who's got the rail, who's got the LG, who's got the rocket launcher, has a chance to get them back on the board. The problem is, look how far away they're staying from him. He's have to drop down, they're gonna come through the teleporter. And oh, Dan drops as well. If Dan stayed there, he might have been able to funnel them and force them there for a little bit longer. Now Siege with the quad is not gonna get anything, it seems.
But this is that optimal movement. Yes, Steege gets 1 frag, but with this difference, 1 frag is no way near enough. 1 more. Can he get an extra? Nah, he's just not going to give him the chance.
We do have to give him credit, though. I mean, Dandaking coming through like that with a 1 HP save at least gives him some momentum, hypes him up a little bit, saying, all right, we got this, we can do it. Just got to start hitting our shots, and confidence is key when it comes to Quake.
Only 5 frags behind now.
Yeah, they're now back to 6, but it's definitely doable. We've seen some sick comebacks lately over the last few weeks.
Oh. Unless a very angry Doomslayer literally punches you in the head. That was a sucker punch, man. That was dirty.
All right, good little damage there. Yeah, the shotgun's not going to provide too much comfort for Dandaking. Oh, yeah, you're kind of
didn't even need to weapon switch. I know Waz hasn't got a rail, but if he did have it, he'd switch to it.
And he's kind of by himself. Look, they're both running away. Obviously, they're the teleporters. You're making things a little bit more difficult there to fight the 2-on-2, especially when you're low on HP and you're low on weaponry. But wins again. Dandaking, that's the second time he's backed away into... Actually, it's not the second time. That's the first time he's backed away into the totem. No, it is the second time he's jumped into the totem.
It's because the thing is, when you're being pressured this much and you're being forced to run, you're being forced to retreat, sometimes you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You know, if I go through a teleporter, I'll die. But if I stay here, I'm also going to die. So you just take the risk.
Yeah.
If I die, at least the totem's gone. You know, at least I can use the teleporter when I next spawn. But here comes the protection. Waz manages to land another frag. 8 frags left, and these guys are going to be moving on into the group stages tomorrow to face the rest of the winning competition. Is he going to survive? No, he doesn't. Dandaking come up behind. Steals it away, but he needs to make this protection. It has to mean something. It has to count for a lot more than 1 or 2 frags.
These rockets they're hitting, though, from Wins. Oh, no, if they actually denied the Mega away from Dan, they could have killed him. There would have been a chance, but Wins had some really good, like, fadeaway rockets to limit the mobility of Dandaking, to even close this distance and close this gap. Looking for the rail. He's not going to have an opportunity. Again, he got 1 kill off the protection. Well, technically 2 if you count the initial. So 3 in total with Steege, but that's not what they need off that. They need a bigger power play than that.
They got a nice amount, and it's obviously coming up behind. Dandaking might have got that frag, but unfortunately, not at all. Steege goes down again. The thing is this optimal escape routes that we're seeing. Obviously, they're clearly prepared on how they kind of want to cycle around and run rings around the map. If they bump into someone else, then so be it. At least if you bump into someone that doesn't have the power-up, you can probably kill them, maybe, or you'll trade. But the goal is always going to be just cycle the map and make this power-up holder just chase you.
Oh, that was a good split. That's actually a good fight because they had Wins and Waz attention just turned away from each other. And they had 2 1-on-1s, but unfortunately for Corvidae, Team Liquid 2 has been able to secure that. Steege again.
Yeah, I don't think Waz thought his model was actually in view there.
5 frags. I mean, we almost certainly should be able to make it to quad here, unless Liquid somehow gets 5 big ones really, really quickly. Yeah, good damage done is before the pickup as well.
I think he definitely goes far to say this could be the game-winning quad. And you know what? This is actually becoming very, very close indeed. And seeing as this is the final map, everything is going to ride on this quad damage. In 25 seconds, we might have a finished map.
So I actually give up Mega. I thought they were going to stick around for it. They're setting up very, very early for this. So the problem is that if Team Liquid 2 attack early and do damage, and they come in again, then they're going to be at a health detriment. Yeah, look at this. Steege is low, Dandaking's low, and they're going to come back in with full HP. This is going to be very, very difficult to hold on to.
Dandaking's going face first. He goes down. Steege is in danger. The patience gets misses a rail and he returns. Steege keeps them alive. This might be everything.
He's got 14 health, though. He needs to heal. He's got the totem. He's got the health bubble. He has the quad. He has the LG. He actually trades places with Wins. He wants to go for heavy, but he just can't afford to do so. A 1 frag difference. 30 seconds left to go. They need to put up at least 1 frag to tie things up before we can go into overtime.
They see him. They actually win that 2v1, but here comes Steege with quad damage. Ignores the totem. He's got to be so careful here. Gets 1 rail, and it's the sandwich. Dandaking on the other side. We have 3 frags left for both teams, Kaplan. And 20 seconds on the clock.
There's a very good chance we're going to hit overtime here. Both teams can play so safe. It comes down to,
oh my God,
if you get that 1 kill lead, if you get a 2-on-1, yeah, look at this. They're actually sticking together. They realize, all right, let's just wait it out because that's first to 50. It's not
this has to be
48.
Surely it has to be sudden death.
Dandaking, he's got help.
They're playing the waiting game. They're playing the waiting game.
Steege needs to heal up too. All right, so now it's first to 50, or whoever wins after 2 minutes of time.
I think that definitely went to show that both teams, the amount of respect they're showing each other. Yeah. No, we are not going to overstep the mark here. That is a tournament-altering situation right there.
Power up 50 seconds too.
I wonder. I mean, this is when I think things are going to really slow down.
Yeah, this is like watching Duel. Like 1v1 at some points when there's like 1 champion left alive for each.
Look at how many of them are walking.
Yeah.
no one wants to give anyone any data.
And it comes down to if you have the timings on these items, because all you need is those 3 frags. And at the way it's going, there's only 90 seconds left. You could just be 1 frag ahead and win the game outright. You gotta be so careful coming through those totems. They're both there.
The patience actually on the rockets, I think they must have been listening out for the rocket timing, because they had to use the teleports together. They weren't going to force a 2v1. They weren't going to split themselves up deliberately.
Oh no, they're split up now. That's wins by himself. He's gonna actually get caught out. He should eventually fall off this one. But no, he somehow dodges. This is a totem! Oh, sorry, that was Siege's. Oh my lord.
And he's weak. Not anymore, thankfully, but he's still railable. It's going to be a berserker mirror.
1 minute left.
Oh my god.
And they have a 1 frag lead.
Protection, here it comes.
And they're going to get it. Wins is coming in too late.
No, no.
Why'd you trade position?
Missed it. Oh, wait, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They collected it. 1 more frag is going to do the job, and Siege has a totem available, and he's got the protection. Team Liquid 2 need to absolutely run for their lives, but if they bump into Dandaking, it might be over anyway.
They got 40 seconds to pull back 2 kills.
Oh my god.
That rocket's going to land. That's 100 damage. Dandaking's going for the chase. He wants the final frag. He's not going to be able to get on wins just yet. He's respecting them. 30 seconds left to go, and somehow Team Liquid 2 have held on through the protection.
Corvidae, they're in the lead, and at the last minute, they managed to inch that one out. And what a demonstration from these guys. Absolutely coming here to play, upsetting the bracket, and they are the first team in Group C to move on.
Dear Lord, that was so close at the end, too. Look
at how even the frags were.
There was a chance we were going to end at like 49-48 from overtime time, not actually from 50 frags. Like, that's how close it was at the end. Like, 20 seconds left. And you have to think back to, you know, as a player, at least for Team Liquid 2, to think back to like every frag that you're like, I should have had that one, or I shouldn't have died there. That might have just cost you that match.
I feel like in a match like that, you have no choice but to go to the hindsight that you had available. And I've got to say, like, Corvidae, huge congratulations to moving on in this bracket. They can now rest a little bit easy. The matches will continue for them tomorrow against the rest of the guys that made it through. And of course, Team Liquid 2 are in a position to move on anyway. They're just now going to be going into the lower part of this bracket. But that was a complete nail-biter.
Can you just give me one, just for me? Can you give me one? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
Oi, oi, oi.
All right, at least you said it. At least you gave me the words.
I thought that was it.
That's honestly, like, just keep in mind, that's a massive